Okay, this video is going to cover your maintain spell monitor window. There's two ways in DarqUI to find this. You could pull up your Windows Manager and select your maintain spell monitor, which will give you the configuration screen in which you can um, add and remove spells. You can also, when you use, it's usually function 10, like with all windows for DarqUI, there's a little settings button inside the window. Unfortunately, again, if you by default have it hidden, you won't see this unless you pull up all your windows. So, however you get there, this is what you want to see. Now, when you have just installed DarqUI and run the quick setup, you are going to get the light spell monitor version. What that means is, let's say, um, I have added this spell called Consumption as one of my spells which are going to be monitored. When I go into edit, all I can really do in here is add the spell name, which I already have. And then it says features not available with the light version. Okay, so how do I get rid of the light version and have the full version? Okay, so I'm going to leave the game. You actually have to exit the game and come back in for this to take effect. So I'm going to let that occur. And then I'm going to go to where my DarqUI installation is and run the utility, the DarqUI Unified Utility. So let me kick that off. And when this comes up, we will see that on the update page, which you probably run all the time to check for updates, scrolling down, you can go through each of the actual windows. And here's the Maintain Spell Monitor window. This little gear over here lets you select the light, which is the version is configured, or change it to the standard version. Now, by doing that, it'll say you need to update one file. So, okay, we're going to update that. Download complete, update complete. Okay, we're done. I'm going to start up the game again. So currently I have the game loading up. And once this is loaded, hopefully the initialization file will have been read. Okay. And then I will pull up my maintained window and see that the changes are there. Again, I'm going to use the DarqUI Windows Manager, select Maintain Spell Monitor, and here we are. Now the advanced settings are here. If I were to go into consumption and do an edit, you will see that you have more options. You have follow-up options to do commands like recast the spell. You have the ability to add warning set points for when your spell is completing. And then you have a bunch of settings down here for whether you want to display values on the tiles. And I'm going to cover this in a further use case scenario. One thing to note, that now that we have changed to the maintained window standard instead of light, you will notice that it looks a little different. So I'm going to cast consumption, and here it is. However, if you look at your Windows mode, now all your maintained spells are actually in an order. In the light version, it just pops them onto the top of the stack, so you won't see consumption down here. You'll see it as the first spell. And then as you cast other spells, in this case Pandemic is on my list, then Pandemic would move onto the stack and it would keep moving them down. However, in this mode, that's not the case. I'm going to get out of the window mode and we'll see that again. Consumption is up in 20 seconds, so I will use other spells. Let's see here as I attack this and use spells which I have monitors. Yep, as we can see, Blood Coil is like the 6th spell, so it comes up in the 6th position. Under the light monitor, that would not be the case. Again, it would just
Consumption is available.
So hopefully this gives you an idea of the differences. The key is just to say, how do you switch between the two? And there will be a follow-up video which actually goes into the details of what settings you can do now under the standard window that you were not able to do under the light window. Some people prefer one over the other. I just used the light version, but this is something else that's available in DarqUI, so I wanted to cover it. Thank you.